Anytime John Calipari loses, I get happy because I hate John Calipari more than like Coach K scares me because he looks like a vampire, but like John Calipari, like as just a basketball coach, I hate him more than anything. Like I hate him. I don't hate him for the game. Like I just don't like him as like a coach whatsoever. It's ridiculous.
Me either. I think he's overrated.
I think
he's a great recruiter. That's about it.
Yeah, a great recruiter to get people to the NBA, but not to win championships for your college. Like he's not about that action. Like he just gets all these one and dones, and they leave, rebuilds, leaves, rebuilds. That's not a way to win for your university. That is a way for you to have a bunch of dudes in the NBA that can say that you were their coach. And sometimes it works out. Karl Anthony Towns, Derrick Rose. Sometimes it doesn't work out. Tyreek, Norris Noel. You know what I mean? Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't work out. And a lot more time. But in college, it definitely hasn't worked out for him. But yeah, he continued to do the exact same thing, and it angers me like no other.
I mean, it hasn't.
Yeah. It
hasn't completely failed him
because
he's put together some really good teams. Granted, those teams tended to have people who were supposed to be one and dones who didn't go. But like he's.
How about this? Bill Self's year last year with the KU team that he had is more impressive than any season John Calipari has ever had.
Okay. I think on this one, History Major, you might have to brush up on your history on this. Because Calipari has coached for, I believe, 3 different Division I teams. And with each team, he's took them to the big dance. Not just the big dance, but Final Four appearances, and has won championships with 2 of them. He did it with Kentucky, and he did it with, I believe he coached, it's not Providence, but I know he had Marcus.
It was Minnesota, I'm pretty sure.
No, it wasn't Minnesota. I remember watching the documentary. I can't think of the team right now.
Which team did he have that supposedly had no superstars? The number 1 recruit left, and they still made it to the Final Four. That's why I'm saying that last year Bill Self's team that he had for KU was more impressive than anything he's ever had. Yeah, John Calipari has championship teams, but he's also had really, really high recruits and has made it far.
Why'd you say Bill Self?
For KU last year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's made it. Okay. Yeah, but like John Calipari's had really high recruits and made it really far with these really, really high recruits. He's also had this season like he had with Norris Noel. You know what I mean? He had the NIT season. So let's not forget about that. But he's never had to go through the I don't want to say the words trials and tribulations of last year because they made it seem like it wasn't. But when Frank Mason left and all kind of stuff, people are like, oh, no, KU's not going to be a very good team next year. It might be the first time they don't win the Big 12 tournament, things like that. And all of a sudden they did, made it to the Final Four. And John Calipari has had some of the greatest recruiting classes of all time, most times. You know what I mean? The Anthony Davis season, when they won the championship, yeah, that was a really, really, really good season. When he had Michael Kidd-Gilchrist and Anthony Davis. You know what I mean? And that whole one and done thing, though, like the way he abuses the one and done, like he doesn't just have 1 or 2 players that are one and done. He has like whole teams that are one and done, and that's just like that's not fun to me. That's not good basketball to watch because there's no like cohesiveness between the teams. There's no like leaders on the teams that like have been there for a couple years that are like really there to make a difference. Besides a couple times where he had Willie Cauley-Stein and all kind of stuff. But usually that isn't the case for his teams, and that's not a good look, and that's not the best way to build a basketball team in my opinion.
I mean, he has those players I'd argue about every other year because I feel like usually he tends to have 1 or 2 folks that stay. I know the team that went, what was it, like 30-1 or something?
I think that's the team with Cat. They had
Terrence.
Alex
they had Terrence.
Jr.
They had Terrence Jones, didn't they?
No, they had the Harrison. They had the Harrison
Twins
twins.
had already.
They had Devin Booker. They had Tyler Eulis. And at one point, at the beginning of the season, he was just he just subbed entire squads out, and it was like nothing's.
When he was doing the platoon,
and it was like, just like it, and it didn't lose anything. And then I think one or two folks started getting hurt, and they actually had to run an actual rotation.
Yeah, I remember that. I do remember that. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, every year he got a couple guys that stay, for the sophomore season and things like that. But my favorite player at for who's played under him, excluding Derrick Rose, was Terrence Jones. Like, for whatever reason, like, I was a really big fan of him, and I was a big fan of him that he didn't leave when he didn't need to leave. You know what I mean? Like, he was like, "Oh, I'm one and done. I gotta get out of here. I'm a prospect from high school that they said beginning of the year I'm gonna be a one and done." He was like, "No, I'm gonna stay like 1 or 2 years, whatever it was." And I really appreciate that about him. I didn't appreciate the double sleeves though, but it's a whole different issue. That's a whole different issue. But
hold up, wait though. Does that mean, because you talk about like you don't really like the whole one and done thing? So does that mean you're not a fan of Coach K? Because he's better at that than Calipari for a couple years now.
Coach K, but the thing is, he don't have whole teams that do it, right? Coach K has like 1 or 2 recruits that do it. The Jaleel Okafers, the Jabari Parkers, the Jason. Oh my gosh, I'm having a mind blank. What's his name? Tatum. Yeah, I'm having a whole mind blank. Yeah, he has like 1 or 2 players each year that do it, but not whole teams. You know what I mean? Like, Calipari be like, yeah, I lost 9 players this year to the, like, what? Like, some dudes barely play, and all of a sudden they leave this team. I'm like, that's crazy. But, like, I don't like Duke. I don't like LeBron being like, Coach K stays. Yeah, I've never liked Duke. But, like, I do like some of their players, though. Like, I was a big Jabari fan.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't in college, at least. I was a Jaleel Okafor fan. I think it just might be a Chicago thing. I'm not quite sure, but like, I am a fan of some of their players, but they don't do the whole team moving thing one and done. They don't take advantage of something like that because Calipari knows that he needs 1 or 2 guys, or like a couple guys that are going to stay a couple years to make that team go. You know what I mean? And that's how he gets the best out of his team. Calipari's just like, nah, man, go to the NBA now. I'm not building it for college. I'm building it for the NBA, and I'm not sure if that's the best and the most efficient way to make a college basketball team.
Okay, kind of. Let's see. Talked about Duke.
Yeah. Last thing I want to say about Calipari, he looks like an underling from a mob movie.
You'll find no arguments here.
He looks.
That's true. Like, you're absolutely correct, Alan. Great observation.